program is sponsored by TechTime Radio. Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so, you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
As far as YouTube is concerned, we would like you to like it and subscribe to our podcast.
Yes, you know how you can find our YouTube page?
How?
You go to YouTube and just type in TechTime Radio.
That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
Like and subscribe.
You need to visit us online also at Twitch. You know what our Twitch page is?
I imagine it's at TechTime Radio.
That's correct. If you just go to any twitch.tv and you look for TechTime Radio, we come on up as TechTime Radio. So visit us on Twitch, subscribe there because you can see the live feeds themselves. And guess what?
What?
We also have a page on X. Okay,
so what is that? At TechTime Radio?
That's at TechTime Radio or hashtag
TechTime Radio. The point is,
yeah,
if you like our show, like and subscribe to our social media. Okay, so I think that's pretty much covers it. Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Nathan doesn't get liked a lot at home, so he's begging for everybody.
Please like us. Please like us. That's right. Okay. Thank you, guys. Remember, TechTimeRadio.com.
TechTimeRadio.com.
All right.
Like us and subscribe.
Or subscribe and like us.
Broadcasting across the nation, from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology, while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Mmm. Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts, as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming our show on 5 of the most popular platforms right now, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And if you didn't hear our previous intro commercial, make sure you subscribe and like us. Or like us and subscribe. All right, we encourage you to visit us also online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise, working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in the studio, we have our co-host, Mike Roday, and Mark Gregoire, our whiskey tech time taster. Mike is an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike's here to help me from geeking out and providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology, especially AI. Mark Gregoire is our...
had to go there.
Mark Gregoire is our whiskey connoisseur and a senior technical executive with a 30-plus year record of establishing technology solutions. He's a skilled whiskey drinker, and he's our black market go-to pick-of-the-day whiskey expert. I call him now the black market guy. Last night he was talking about how he can get us all these whiskeys under-the-table prices, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
We all know about Mark's secret liquor life.
He's got a whole little different life that he's going, and he's, distributing. He's got this huge...
He's like a network. He's got a network
of all different whiskey people. We are all friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible. Odie is behind the board today. She's going to keep this train running on the tracks. We hope that you guys have a great time. Let's start today's show.
Why are you laughing at that?
Now on today's show.
All right, today on Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show is all about the alphabet. And when I say that, I mean the company known as Google. First, Google is deleting unused accounts this week and punishing those using ad blockers. Then we have details of how this will affect you. Next, we have over $1 million being spent to target illegal street racing. And what is YouTube Playables? Have you heard of this? YouTube Playables. We're going to be talking about this. This is echoing Netflix and TikTok's ventures into video game platforms. YouTube now is coming on out and also going to do their video game platform.
Yeah. Well, nobody can see me, but I'm making a face right now.
Okay.
It's not a good face.
All right. And oops, an Nvidia employee needed to close files on his PC before sharing a screen on a video conference call. And now he's in hot water. We'll tell you about the legal consequences of having files open when you share your screen. Finally, we have some exciting news on our Nugget of the Week. Artificial intelligence can now ID individual geese. Stay tuned to find out more.
Are we going to try to talk about the geese this time?
If we get to the Nathan Nugget of the Week, we will talk about the artificial ID about the geese. It's really important, and it's really exciting about these two.
This has been on the Nathan Nugget list for a month now.
Well, hopefully we get to it, because there's this teacher that went on in and tried to learn about geese, and then they created an application to help do it. We'll talk about that in our Nugget. And, of course, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, and, as long as time allows, all about AI geese. So sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to TechTime Radio. As always, we have our pick of the day whiskey tasting. During the commercial breaks, we'll see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up at the end of the show. Now, let's start with the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, Google is deleting unused accounts this week. Now is the time to save these accounts. We're going to be talking about that. But before that, we're going to go to Tom Geiken, and he's going to tell us what's going on with the Alphabet company.
Now is the time to act if you want to keep a Google account you haven't used in a while. Starting December 1st, Google will start deleting inactive accounts. That is, accounts that haven't been used in at least 2 years. Google accounts give access to the company's other products, including Gmail, Drive, Docs, Meet, Calendar, Photos, and YouTube. That means emails, videos, photos, documents, and any other content sitting in an inactive account are at risk. Time to log in and save the video of Uncle Bob from Thanksgiving that you posted 10 years ago. Back to the guys in the studio.
All right, so let's talk about this.
It might be a good thing to get rid of that video.
Uncle Bob video? No, the Uncle Bob video is funny. All right, so Google is going through, and they're going through inactive accounts that they have. Now, people create Google accounts because they're free, and this happens all the time. So this is kind of just a cleansing part of it. But I was going through my list today. I had like 15 Google accounts.
You know, coming from you, that's not a surprise at all.
Okay, so I had some of them when I did some camp stuff, and I posted some camp pictures, some camp videos. I had some other stuff for lots of different items that I have. I've done crazy stuff.
What if I have Google accounts that I don't remember that I have?
Well, then what you should try to log into it. They'll give you an opportunity to use a previous password. It goes all the way back to 4 or 5 previous used passwords. If you're close enough, it'll ask you to send a confirmation, send it to your email, and have it taken care of. But if you don't get to it by December 1st, all the information is going to be gone. Now, let's talk about what's going to happen first, though. Before the deletion process happened, Google users will receive multiple notifications leading up to that. Now, one of my accounts that I went to today, essentially I printed out the 3-page document that I have here in the studio, and it talked all about the account that was going to be terminated. So
it's going to tell you what account it is.
So it's going to tell you if your account's going to be terminated. Now, I hadn't logged in for almost 3 years on this account. And it said that I had 2 days until it was going to be taken care of. And it was great that it gave me a notice. Now, if I wasn't logging into my account, I probably wouldn't have seen it, which is kind of their clue to delete the account itself. But you can always add an account email address, a recovery email, or even enable 2-factor authentication to extend the life of your accounts. And you don't have to do anything after that. But you do have to log into them before the end of December 1st at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And the clock ticks over, and then people will start deleting those accounts. Now, the first process is to purge, essentially, accounts that were created that no one has ever used. So the company says they're going to go after those first to delete those accounts, which would make sense. Somebody creates something, they never really decided to move forward with it. The exception, though, is that any account that was set up through your work, school, or another organization won't automatically be deleted. The policy only applies to personal accounts. So if you have a Google Gmail account through a school or a college, that account will remain active. That's a lot of colleges use Google email accounts. Your work may use a Google email account too. That'll be active, even if you haven't logged into it for a while. But your personal accounts, they're going to start disappearing. How to save your account? Very, very simple. Open up Google, type in Gmail, in the Google area and open up your Gmail account. You don't want to go to YouTube to open up. You don't want to go to Pictures to open up. You want to go to your Gmail account, log into it. Your account will be saved. Because you understand what your YouTube account has, right? That includes pictures, files, anything in the Google shares that have information, any videos that you would have had posted, any important data that you may have done in a survey or any different of their tool sets themselves. All of that will be gone, and it will go to the ether's never land that will never come back.
You sure?
Yeah.
That pause was like
it's just very sad.
Very.
It's very sad that it's going to go away. All those ones and zeros are going to disappear into the ether.
So even though nothing ever disappears from the internet, this is going to disappear from the internet?
Yeah, well, so Google Accounts says that inactive accounts are a security measure that Google has to spend time to regulate, which makes sense. If all these accounts are just open and no one's taking care of them, they probably haven't done terms of service agreements. They probably haven't done any updates.
How many of your 1,500 to 1,800 accounts are you going to have wiped?
So I saved all 15 accounts this morning. So when this article came out, I was like, oh, crap. And I went into a bunch of old stuff that I haven't. I had some college stuff when I coached college basketball.
You just let some of that stuff go, man.
No. I saved them all. There you go. Okay. All right. Story number 2. Are you ready? We're gonna stay on Alphabet.
It doesn't matter if I'm ready or not.
Well, that's right. We're going to story 2. You're up.
Okay. Well, if you use YouTube, you might notice that you have a 5-second delay if you use ad blockers on your browsers.
Okay.
Google has finally commented on the artificial wait that some Firefox users are encountering on YouTube. 5-second delay, which is plainly visible in YouTube's code, is made to punish those who use ad blockers. It affects all browsers, not just Firefox. To support a diverse ecosystem of creators globally and allow billions to access their favorite content on YouTube, we've launched an effort to urge viewers with ad blockers enabled to allow ads on YouTube or to try YouTube Premium for an ad-free experience, which I'm pretty sure that's why they did it.
Okay.
Users who have ad blockers installed may experience suboptimal viewing, regardless of the browser they are using. Before Google commented on the story, some people speculated that the 5-second delay is associated with ad blocking, and they were correct. When asked about the 5-second delay, Google explained that users who have ad blockers installed may experience suboptimal viewing regardless of the browser, and this was corroborated by Firefox, which told 404 Media that the 5-second delay affects all of them. As you may know, YouTube has spent the last few months cracking down on ad blockers. It wants customers to subscribe to YouTube Premium, which costs a weighty $13.99 a month,
okay,
and includes YouTube Music membership. Presumably, the 5-second delay is a crude way of ensuring that ads actually play. Switching a browser's user agent resolves the problem because it refreshes the web page. YouTube doesn't need to serve an advertisement after you refresh, so it doesn't enforce the 5-second delay. This is a pretty crude trick from Google. Ad blocking services can get around the 5-second delay with a simple filter, but Google is clearly hunting for new ways to discourage ad blocker usage, and a YouTube Premium subscription may be worth the money if you can't tolerate these annoyances.
All right, so YouTube Premium, we're going to be talking about that because you get another bonus in just a little bit we're going to be talking about too.
Ooh.
Well, I know. It's pretty exciting. So do you use ad blockers? I used ad blockers once in a blue moon ago. And now I just don't.
That's a hard because I consider doing it, but it's just one more thing I have to pay attention to.
Because a lot of windows pop up.
They're always finding ways around the ad blockers. They're always, and I'll tell you what, as a person in the today's society, one of the things that I has affected me personally is how annoyed I get at the ads.
Do you get upset?
Oh yeah, it's funny because we grew up in the pre-internet days.
Yeah,
So we had to deal with commercials on TV.
Yeah, used to it.
And we were all used to it, and we were all it was all a way to go up and get something to drink or whatever.
Yep.
Now I can't.
Well, now on all the streaming services, unless you're paying premium, you got commercials back again.
Yeah, it's really sort of this strong arm tactic of getting people to, because it's annoying. We all get annoyed. I can't stand some of YouTube's.
Okay. Would you rather have an ad, or does it bother you if you're watching a YouTube video, and then someone in the middle of the YouTube comes in and starts hawking for 4 or 5 minutes of product.
Yeah, what?
So that actually gets me more upset than the YouTube filters. It's when all of a sudden I get a commercial from the guy that I'm trying to watch or gal I'm trying to watch on the stream information.
Yeah, when they're talking about their stuff on their show or whatever, that really annoys me too. But I mean, there's nothing worse than having to sit through one of those, especially one of the ones you can't skip.
Yeah.
That I guess they pay extra. I don't know how it works, but they pay extra money, so you can't skip them, and they're like 2 or 3 minutes long. You're like, okay, this video is just not worth. YouTube is just not worth watching right now.
It does. YouTube. Well, we're going to continue on with story there. So, story number 3. We got 4 stories, so we'll come back to the YouTube at the end. Story number 3: $1 million in new technology targeting illegal street racing may be coming. Now, you would think Florida or California would be the hotbeds for street racing.
No.
Do you know where the most significant street races in the U.S. take place?
Yes, I do.
Where's that?
Arizona.
That is correct. Arizona. Tucson, Arizona, as a matter of fact. So much so that the technology is now being set up to target illegal street racing was presented to the Tucson, Arizona City Council meeting last week. In the meeting, the council agreed to have Tucson Police Department and the Attorney General's office look into technology that could be used, including these technologies: a pan and tilt zoom camera. They're designed to cover large areas while tracking items of interest. These could be mounted on street lights, power poles, or mounted to air traffic vehicles. They also have another technology called a gunshot
we've done
detection system. Yeah, we've
before.
talked about that. An automated license plate reader to capture all the plates that come into view. These are 3 areas that they're looking at doing that are just going above and beyond invasion of privacy if people are on these roads. But the cost of this per each of these devices is anywhere between $120,000 to $300,000 for these devices.
How did you come up with invasion of privacy?
Well, hang on. Here's some concerns.
Do you know how dangerous illegal street racing is?
Well, okay. So here's the concerns at the meeting that came on out is that once implemented, could this be used to monitor not only street racing, but regular commuters?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about surveillance cameras being set up to track your vehicles on those roads in Tucson?
Well, if I start getting, presumably, if I start getting tickets for doing something that I should have been able to get away with that wasn't street racing, then I might be a little annoyed by that.
Okay. But now
we're arguing about something. You know why Tucson is the hotbed for street racing?
Why is that? Because
in Arizona, the streets are straight. They're long. A lot of them are deserted at night. It's the prime way to. Well,
I was watching video. I never knew that Tucson, Arizona was the hotbed, and I've seen a bunch of these videos now posted. And you get like 150 cars pull up on the side of the roads. They get on out, and they have like pop-up tents, and they have DJs coming on out.
Yeah.
And then these electric vehicles are doing music raves and everything as they're street racing.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
There you go. There you go.
Little did you know.
I found out. I don't know if I'd be spending $1 million to
I don't know either, but obviously that's one of those areas where my disdain for some of this stuff is on the other side of the coin.
Table. All right. Yep. Story number 4. YouTube rolls out a new gaming platform for premium users. Here you go. YouTube Playables.
Yay.
Great name. Echoes Netflix and TikTok's ventures into gaming. The latest battle for your attention. YouTube ventured into gaming this week by rolling out a test of YouTube Playables to all premium users. So they get their ads blocked.
Yeah, see, if YouTube wants my attention, get rid of the ads. Let me just watch YouTube videos for free.
Okay.
And you have my attention.
You have your attention, all right? Now, Playables are small free games for mobile and desktop devices with no downloads, such as Angry Birds Showdown from YouTube. YouTube is the latest video watching platform to branch out into gaming. That experiment now expanded to all premium users, continuing the trend with Netflix and TikTok last year. We ask, why is YouTube now deciding to get into the game division? Well, because Playables, along with these other game ventures, could be a part of the game industry's $193 billion that were registered in 2021, nearly double the revenue of the film industry at $100 billion. So essentially, you have almost double the industry for video games than you do for people watching movies.
Yeah, there's no blurb in there about money grubbing and.
No, you want to put that blurb in there?
I think I just did.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
It's just another form of cash grabs.
Well, you know what? So now is the time to sign up for premium subscribers
for $13.99 a month.
That's right. We now have access to 30 Phaser games, a 2D game framework for your desktop and mobile department developed by Phantom Storm. The game includes 8 classics like Ball Billiards, Merger Master, and Farmland. YouTube says premium users can provide feedback on playables, which will inform the experience on if YouTube decides to roll this out more broadly in the future.
Yeah, but yeah, whatever. Like,
so everybody's going to have a mobile game division.
Yeah, and how many of those are going to get really used? Probably not a lot.
No,
because
gamers I go to Steam and download it, or they go to the Xbox and download it, or buy the third-party game that self-installs.
Yeah, gamers have their platforms, and that's what they use.
Yeah, there's no market to try to compete with Nintendo.
No.
I understand the market is so big that Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony has, but it doesn't mean. Yeah, but this is what executives think. Hey, well, if we get into that market and we just take 1% of it, that's $2 billion. So that would be $4 billion that we could have available to us, and we could have all. So they just want these little micro areas of the market, and they're like, "Oh, we'll make so much money."
It's just money grub.
All right. Well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on to our next segment, we have Phil Hennessy back on the show with our Chat About Chat segment.
Yeah.
And we have a Star Wars twist today.
Oh no, not Star Trek.
Oh no, we're going Star War's. So stay tuned. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. We'll see you after this commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Well, welcome back to Tech
We
Time.
have Mark's theme.
Yeah, Mark loves this music. It's
slick.
I know.
It's really funny because
City
I'm the
Slickers.
one that's from the West.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
that's City Slickers, Billy Crystal.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay, all right. Well, welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time's a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, Microday, Odie behind the board, and Mark Gregoire. So we are going to have our first whiskey tasting during the break we did, and it was amazing. But now, Mark.
Which part are you at?
Oh, wow, this is really good. Mark, tell us what we are sipping in our pick of the day.
We are drinking today the New Riff Malted Rye. It's the 6-year version, so it's from the New Riff Distillery. They are located in Newport, Kentucky. It's a straight rye. It's aged at least 6 years. It is 100 proof. It is 100% malted rye. And it went for MSRP is $60, and it has been going on the secondary as high as $200, but you should see that dropping soon. They just announced last month an 8-year version coming out, so I think the price will steady when that gets released.
Okay, all right. Well, what was your first, what did you think, Mike?
Well, I was immediately knew it was a rye.
Okay.
Because of the burn at the very start, but it's very tasty.
It is. And it's like a sour mash, right?
No, it's malted rye.
It's a malted rye. Okay, well, why does it say sour mash on the bottom of that? What does that say?
Sour mash.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, we're going to have to explain that to me because I think it's a sour mash. That's what the bottle said, right?
Sour mash is a way that they do for the initial juice.
Okay.
It just means use a little bit of juice from before to make your new one.
Oh. All I know is sour mash. When you go to Trader Joe's, don't
You know,
buy
the funny thing
sour.
is you try to talk whiskey with him,
Yeah.
and you know nothing about whiskey.
I've never said that I'm a whiskey connoisseur.
I
just
would
like drinking
We've
whiskey.
already said, but you know,
So it's a really good question, and I would like to give a more involved answer during a Mark Mumbles, but not today. I'll put it in a future one because today we're talking about the malted process.
Okay,
so I had
okay.
to choose one.
All right, well, so we're talking about the malted.
We'll
All right.
do sour mash another time. That is a
Okay.
very good one. Most
Your sour mash.
whiskeys out there, or bourbons, are definitely sour mashes.
Okay.
But they don't usually publicize it.
All right. Okay. Well, with our first whiskey tasting completed, now let's move on to a galaxy not so far away, where we have digital realms intertwined with our reality. We face a threat akin to the dark side of Star Wars. We call this the rise of AI on the dark web. Today's segment of Chat About Chat dives deep into the cryptic and evolving threats. Join me and Phil, a seasoned expert in robotics and artificial intelligence. Together, we're going to navigate through the murky waters of AI-driven chatbots and their roles in cybercrime. Buckle up. It's going to be an enlightening journey.
Welcome to the AI segment, Chat About Cat, with our TechTime guest, my favorite humanoid, Mr. Phil Hennessy.
All right, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Welcome
Hey,
to the
guys,
show
how you
today.
doing?
How are you doing?
Good. Mike, I went there hard today. You saw.
Was that,
Did you?
Was that? Okay. Well, I guess what we got AI all over the place. It's going to be great, Phil.
We're doing a Star Wars deal today instead of Star Trek.
Yeah. Well,
Star Trek.
Star Trek. We got some Jedis and some evil people. We're going to be talking about tons of stuff. Phil, for our listeners not familiar with the term, could you please explain to us what the dark web is and how AI is becoming a part of it?
Sure. Dark web's basically a hidden world of the internet. It's the underworld. It's a place that's only available through certain software, and it gives anonymization to the people and makes people untraceable there. So there's a lot of dark things that go on there in terms of drug dealing and a lot of other things that can go on illegally in trading of things. So right now, what they're doing now is certain groups are creating chat AI bots that are not doesn't have any filters, and they can basically do whatever you want them to do. And we're going to talk about that today and what they have them doing, which is basically phishing scams, malware distribution, and other things that unfortunately the underbelly is there.
Okay, so let's talk. There's three webs. Let's talk about it. All right, so there's the deep web, and that's like bad. That's like
bad.
Yeah, that's
It's just
like
3 levels of bad.
That's like the Sith Lord's underbelly and everything. So
I really think you should get away from the whole dark Star Wars
well,
thing.
no,
It's
this
just not working
analogy
for
is
you.
working now. Then you have the dark web. I think this is more kind of like Darth Vader, probably clone troopers. Not really the star. This is bad, but it could be sometimes good. Darth Vader could have helped with some stuff during.
Dude,
okay.
you
And then-
need to stop.
And then
You just need
we
to
have the
stop.
regular web, which is kind of all commercialized, and that's kind of like Princess Leia. So they put her in every reboot movie again. They have her as a little kid. They have her as this. So there you go. All right, now talking about the dark web here.
Which web does Nathan exist on?
Nathan goes to the dark web a lot. He's kind of a Darth Vader guy. All right, interesting to find out. Tell me a little bit, Phil, about Fraud GPT. Now, this isn't Chat GPT, but there's a product called Fraud GPT. What is this, and how is this being used by cybercrime?
Yeah, and the scary part is you nailed it on the head. This is a product that you can buy on the dark web, and actually it's a subscription service. So for $200 a month or $1,700 a year is what's been published last, you can get access to a AI chatbot with no filters, and it basically can provide sophisticated attacks such as phishing, scamming, impersonating, spreading misinformation, all these different things. It helps them create content for phishing and other and fake emails and websites and such.
Okay,
It should be Fraud GPT Plus.
Fraud GPT Plus. And then it come with commercials.
All
right.
yeah.
Unless you pay for the double
premium version.
subscription. All right. Okay. So, Phil, tell me a little bit about this Dark BERT. All right. Dark BERT is another name that often comes on up. What's the difference between Dark BERT and Fraud GPT?
Well, for every Sith you have, right? What do we used to have? A Jedi, right? So Dark BERT is a Chat GPT type of bot or chat bot that is trained on the dark web for all the technology that's going on out there. It's trained on it, but used by cybersecurity experts to detect when there's potential threats going on the dark web, including ransomware and phishing attacks and those types of things. So it actually it scours the dark web for things that are going on. So, and to help cybersecurity experts. So we're using that technology. They're using it for bad, and there's other security companies now using AI to fight the bad AI. So you got AI wars again going on in the dark web.
All right, so you got AI wars, kind of like you got the Republic and you got the New Order.
You're just gonna keep trying, aren't you?
Yeah.
You keep trying, buddy.
All right, so
try
how
again.
significant is the cybersecurity threat posed by these AI chatbots? Now, chatbots didn't exist a year ago. I went back and started looking at AI and stuff. AI did not hit until March. March is when we started talking about it on the show.
2022.
This year. This year in February and March is when we started really talking about AI chatbots type of deal. So it's really kind of funny that you'd think it's almost like 2 years old, but it's really only about 9 months. Now, we are a technology show, so we're talking about it all the time. But how is this now in the cybersecurity aspect causing a threat with these bots?
Well, I mean, the big thing is it enables iteration and speed for phishing attacks and malware and other things, right? So instead of a human doing it, now you have AI that can go ahead and help you create better phishing attacks. It also is a learning bot, right? So this didn't work. Give me something better to use the next time. So it's learning, and you get higher iteration. So at that point in time, you're going to always have bypassing of traditional cybersecurity measures, and it's always ongoing and it's always pushing.
All right. What type of attacks come from these chatbots?
Well, we talked a little bit, just the phishing, the scamming operations. Basically, you're trying to get an email in there, right? We've talked about phishing and scamming before, those types of things, and trying to convince somebody to give them money or an account or these types of things. And they're looking so realistic now, they're tricking more people for this. So
most of the chatbots on the dark web, and I know a little bit about this, so I'll kind of jump in a little bit.
Please.
Most of them are like secretaries. So what they do is you give them a list of emails, titles, information, and what they do is they'll go through in their AI bots when you pay for one of these services, and they'll send out phishing attempts with all of these names and information, create a new email, create an email that maybe has information regarding the person itself with the AI bots to essentially target somebody that may have a specialty, and maybe I like a certain type of tea, or I like certain type of video games. It'll target those areas in itself. So that's what the AI is being used for, correct?
Yes, absolutely. You can do individual targeting now. You can target, celebrities, all these different things. And the big thing is, again, it's learning, and it can keep moving. It can keep learning and providing additional content quickly.
All right. What measures can we take as a listener to mitigate any of these threats coming to us?
Stay off the dark web.
So, I mean, the big stuff from an individual is basically be skeptical of unsolicited communication, right? Just so we talked about for the fake the fake pictures and the videos and such like that. Verify the source and the credibility. So check where the email's coming from. Always check that. I'm sure you've talked about that.
Clicked on it, right? Take a look at. Don't click on your phone, because your phone, you're going to always just see the name that they want you to do. But sit down on a computer or expand that email, so you can take a look at where that email address is going to. That makes sense.
Have your enable two-factor where you can have it on, and make sure you have your antivirus, your email, where programs up to date, and let them make sure they're getting updated. So it's really we talked about the uncanny valley last time. These attacks are getting to the point where, is it fake anymore? It looks really real. Before some of these come out, you're like, it's fake, right? Now it's like, is it real or is it fake?
They're getting really close. All right. Yeah. So I'm sure you've heard that Mike talking about the ethical concerns regarding the development of what we see with AI. What are some processes that can be put into the communities out there to help us to be a little bit more ethical about what we're trying to do here?
I think the big thing is technology is going really fast for legislation. and it's really hard to keep up. I mean, that's a huge challenge right now. So we need to have a good regulatory environment and a good legal framework that allows people to be able to punish what's happening, as well as in giving a good framework and regulatory environment so that we can innovate AI for good, basically. So there's a lot of technology is going so fast that I think the lawmaking bodies and the regulatory bodies are struggling how to keep up. And so we need to figure out a way to get that moving as faster as well.
All right, final closing comment here. What is one practical application that everybody can do to make sure that they don't get hit by one of these AI bots on the dark web trying to trick them in for the holiday season?
I think it's what we talked about is it doesn't feel right. It's probably not right. And then what we just talked about, check the email on your computer and see if it's from a legit source. A lot of times they come in, I'll still check it. Like, yeah, that's fake. It's a bad email, but there's not, they're getting pretty darn good. It's quite scary. I mean, I've seen some of them come through. It's, myself personally, my personal email. So they're definitely doing it out there.
And they're spelling the names right now. I mean, I'll just tell you the one thing that makes it easy is your grammar now has been greatly increased.
Yeah, that's because one of the issues that I have with the AI system is that I think it was in 2020, all the features of the chatbot algorithms and functions operate at above normal human intelligence. And that's why this is such a concern, because it's operating at a level that the average human being cannot.
There you go. All right. Well, Phil, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. I'm sure that we'll have more to talk about next month on our Chat About Chat with Phil Hennessy.
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later, Phil.
Bye, Phil.
Bye, guys.
All right, that ends our segment, Chat About Chat with Phil Hennessy. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. It's now be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side, as we will be doing so during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on Patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio. Yeah. You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social media.
Like us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it?
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we go to November 28th, 1948. 1948. I cannot believe it's this long ago. Do you realize the Polaroid Insta camera goes on sale? Mm-hmm. That's when the very first one. Just in time for Christmas shopping season. 57 units of the first commercial instant camera, the Polaroid Land Camera Model 95, went on sale at the Jordan Marsh department store in Boston. Producing photographs in about 1 minute, the Model 95 became a hit almost as quickly as possible as you can pull out that film. Polaroid believed that 57 units would be enough to last through Christmas. All 57 units in the film available on that day were sold before the end of the night. It was simply too good to be used. The portable and instant gratification that came from the self-developing film made the camera the most popular camera of all time. The name Land came from the camera's inventor, Edwin H. Land, who was also the company's founder. Nearly 1 million Model 95s were produced, setting the stage for Polaroid's flagship product line, making the company's name synonymous with the instant film and the cameras that they used back then. True black and white instant film was released in the 1950s, but Polaroid didn't create color film until 1963. Polaroid produces their instant film cameras until 2008, but recent resurgence among Generation Z has made this the go-to gift for the holiday season.
Yeah, your son has one.
Yes, I mean this is kind of the big rage again now to take Polaroids.
It's funny watching kids.
Yep.
Use Polaroids and be all excited about it.
And isn't it really? Because we just kind of were used to
You're
it.
welcome.
You get it taken care of, and you did this.
Yep.
And now
Everybody's
it's not the
waving.
phone. It's not the phone that you want anymore. Now you want that instant gratification.
I know. He was taking all kinds of pictures at the 4th of July party. Was that last year or this year?
It was this year. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Odie, do you have a Polaroid phone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. It's cute.
It's like the hot item. It is.
Also, it's something that I've taken it when I go and visit family in another country.
Yeah.
You know, that way I'm not using my phone and we're just in the moment kind of just taking the picture and then we're all cutesy looking at the photo.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how life used to be.
Exactly.
So we went all the way back to 1948.
I can't wait for you guys to get interested in the rotary phone again.
That's
They
right.
are bringing that kind of back.
I know.
It's starting.
I know all the retro stuff.
I'm going to laugh
People,
a lot.
you know, my generation.
70s shag carpets are going to be in again.
We hated that crap when we were
I
kids.
know.
We were like,
Now
this
it's
is
like,
the dumbest
this is
thing
cool.
ever.
All right.
Phone phones are coming back. What else is it? Cables coming back.
Yeah.
It's all just
It's a big
endless
circle.
It's a
cycle.
revolving
Yeah.
loop. That's right.
Gen Z just wants all the things that Gen X had.
I think it's cool.
All right, me too. All right, well, that was This Week in Technology.
Maybe they'll get rid of the internet. We don't have to worry about any of this crap anymore.
Have you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 180 weekly broadcasts spanning 3+ years, videos, podcasts, and blog information? You can visit techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timers Facebook group to talk with us live and get free technical support. That's right. That's what you need to do. Come into Tech Timers on Facebook group, and then we'll give you all technical support. I mean, I charge.
Yeah, you
I
do
charge
tech support
$499 an hour. Now you can get it for free.
I can do crisis support.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have the Mark Mumble Whiskey Review and our Technology Fail of the Week. See you after this break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right, Mark. Now, I did some research. There's 2 days today. I'm going to take a guess.
Oh, okay.
All right, so today is Giving Tuesday, which is hashtag Giving Tuesday. The
Everybody
purpose-
knows about that with all the email spam they're getting.
And it's Red Planet Day.
Good one. We're doing Red Planet Day today.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot for today. So
Okay,
good job.
okay, look at that. Now my job is when I prep for the show to figure out what the day is.
I love it.
Do some research and see if I got it. I had no clue. Okay, tell us. Okay,
I thought maybe you got it because when you looked at the bottle and you saw the red writing on there.
The red on it.
Oh, I didn't. But okay, well, tell us. Okay,
Did you
I'm
just
sorry.
hear him talking about Star Wars and what we were talking about earlier? He doesn't.
Well, it could be.
He doesn't connect things like
It could be an Imperial Guard. Isn't that what the red guards are?
Oh my God!
Yeah, aren't they Imperial Guards?
You're just not going to give up on that.
Oh, okay. Here you go.
So, Mark, what's new with the
All right,
whiskey?
sorry.
Well, let me tell you, Odie, about Red Planet Day. So, Red Planet Day, for those that did not look it up out there, it recognizes the planet which has captivated human observers for countless years, which is, Odie?
Mars.
Oh,
That.
okay. Thank
There
you,
we go.
Nathan.
Oh, sorry.
Let me just.
Seriously,
Good job, Nathan. Everybody clap.
Sorry.
you're
I'm really excited
You're
about
like
this.
that kid that
Okay.
hangs out in the front row and
They
raises
can't
his
even
hand for
raise
every
his
question.
hand.
I got it, teacher.
Now, for centuries, Mars you can actually see with the naked eye at some times, and it has a reddish tinge of the solar system's fourth planet in the night light. Now, little did scientists know back then, but the red on Mars' surface comes from a preponderance of iron oxide, which is common rust. So on the Red Planet Day, we celebrate our fascination with Mars and all the scientific advancements to understanding this dusty planet.
By drinking a rusty rye.
Now, do you have Netflix?
I do.
Have you ever seen the series The Unexplained with William Shatner? It's on season 2.
No, I did In Search Of. That was Leonard Nimoy way back in the 70s.
Oh, my God. Okay, you're dating yourself.
Okay, so there's a Netflix series called The Unexplained. I watch this every night. And they just finished the whole Red Planet about Mars, where they actually believe Mars meteorite stuff came to Earth, and it's helped us do it. So you need to watch Netflix The Unexplained with William Shatner. Mars episode, season 2, episode 4. All right, there you go. Sorry. Okay,
all right, now get right on
let's
that.
Get to our
All
whiskey.
right, Odie, we are drinking New Riff Straight Malted Rye today. Now, this is made for 100% malted rye grain, which is quite rare even in today's craft distilling scene. Malted rye is a rye grain that has undergone the process of malting, during which the grain is moistened and begins to germinate, creating enzymes in the seed that actually convert the starches in that seed to sugar. Nearly any grain can be malted, though barley is by far, far the most common. Now, that process alters and arguably improves and refines its flavors, and that's why they malt in a lot of the whiskeys. Now, what exactly happens here is as typical spice flavor of rye becomes polished, refined, and settled, so that you get a little bit of a different rye flavoring on it. You still get some of the spice, but when they first were doing it, they thought it was going to be really heavy spice, and they found it became a little bit more elegant. Now, I picked up this bottle from, I'll put in quotes, a friend.
Yeah, your little underground secret little group.
Secret liquor
yeah, so anybody in the world, if you just want to contact host at techtimeradio.com and want to find the underground seediness of whiskeys, let
There's
me know.
no seediness. It was this great guy, so I picked this up because I wanted to do a little experimentation.
Okay.
So we've discussed before, I'm not a fan of whiskeys with a high barley content. So if they usually have about 15% or more, whatever the barley flavor is, it's not for me. But most barley, as we just talked about, is malted. Now, I have had high barley whiskey that has not been malted, still don't care for it, but I didn't know if I liked the malted portion or not. So I went searching for a bottle that was a malted grain that was not barley. And this is what I found. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, I do enjoy this rye.
Oh, good.
And what the malting did to it. So I've been very, very happy with this.
This is a $60 bottle.
Yeah.
Is that on the open market, or do you have to find that kind of?
Well, open market, generally this goes for up to $200. I think the average price has been about $100. The guy had just opened it and drank a little bit just to try it. Wasn't his jam, so actually I got it for less than MSRP for almost a full bottle.
Perfect. That's great. That's really good. All right, Mark, thanks for that mumble.
You're
As
welcome.
always, whiskey and technology. What a great pairing. Just like the pairing of turkey sandwiches with cranberry juice after Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving's over.
Was that? Don't you like your turkey sandwich after you have your turkey and a couple days later?
I don't put cranberry juice on it.
You don't put cranberry juice on it?
No.
Ooh.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Now, I'll disagree with Mike. I love cranberry and turkey.
Okay, there you go. All right.
That's my jam.
Let's get ready for our...
Do you pair it in the way that Nathan pairs
stuff?
stuff?
A sandwich, yeah. You? Yeah, he does. All right, let's move on to our technology failure.
That was
Congratulations, you're a failure.
Oh, I failed. Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, talking about this week's technology fail comes to us this week from Nvidia as a video conference goes wrong. Now, there's a rule for video calls at work. Close all the files you don't want others to see before sharing your screen.
Yeah, and don't stand up with pants off.
Those are both very good areas to have. Now, according to a lawsuit filed against tech giant Nvidia, senior staff member Mohammed Monsouri Ayman made this error. That's what I got. Made
That's not what your little pronunciation guide says.
Maner Raziman made this error with a disastrous consequence. He was given an online presentation to a team from his former employee from the car technology firm Valeo. But of course, Valeo claims that he accidentally displayed a file proving that he stole tech secrets. The tech that the Valeo claims he took was the source code behind its parking and driving assistance software, an area NVIDIA has been trying to expand into. So brazen was the theft, the complaint alleged. The file path on the screen still reads Valeo Docs. suggested it was a folder specifically containing documents taken from the company itself. Valio claims gigabytes of data was taken in 2021 when he was working for the German arm of the French firm. He left and joined Nvidia later that year. In a letter written to Nvidia lawyers submitted with the lawsuit, he said the Czech giant was not aware that the data had been removed from the company. Valio claims that the information was in a slide presentation. When it was minimized, the app he was using showed essentially the screen share shot of the files themselves, containing the source code behind his proprietary software. Valio participants on the video conference call immediately recognized the source code and took a screenshot before the user was alerted of his error, and then he closed his screen. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. Essentially, then, the German police come and knock down this guy's door. Essentially, he admits to stealing software and using the software while employed in Nvidia, the lawsuit claims. You know what? Before we move anywhere, we're going to go to Mike's mesmerizing moment because I got a question I want to ask you directly, Mike. This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com. All right, so we're asking about this. Yeah, we're asking. So I want to ask you directly regarding this. This
Mr.
failed.
Munir Rossaman?
Mr. Munir Rossaman? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, so him.
Yeah.
He essentially goes to jail.
Uh-huh.
Should people get fired for showing something in a presentation that they should not have on their computer?
Well, clearly that has degrees of suspicion.
Okay.
Right? If you were to show some, inappropriate pictures while you're giving a presentation, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you should get, a little slap on the wrist or talk to about what you're doing.
Okay. If
you're displaying outright industrial espionage on your thing, then yeah, maybe.
You should
yeah. If you're stealing information from a company, did he used to work for it?
Yeah, so he used to work for the company.
Yeah,
and this was the code that Nvidia essentially hired him for, probably.
Yeah, he stole proprietary information from Valio,
and he had it on his.
His screen during a presentation. He got caught. I think that's the least of his worries. And yes, I think he should be fired.
He was a senior member of Nvidia.
I don't think there should be any sort of distinction about whether or not this person should be fired.
Okay.
Now if it was his girlfriend in a bikini or his boyfriend in a bikini or whatever it was, that might be a case where a supervisor pulls him aside and is like, hey, you need to be more careful what you show on your presentations. But
in today's
industrial
world,
espionage, that's...
You figure in today's world, people need to understand how to do video conferencing. During COVID, we all figured out how to do video conferencing, right? You got the mute button, you got the camera button.
These things are still... These are all things that where technology does not work well with human behavior. This guy... was probably not thinking about it. He may have been using it for a reference, or he may have been playing around with it or something. And we don't consciously look at these things and say, "Oh, that might be shown on my computer," or that's like when I'm sharing stuff on a Zoom call.
Yep.
And I need to switch over to something else.
Yeah.
Does that get shown? I don't know because I'm not viewing. Viewing the page.
Well, you should only share out your screen, right? You should share it on a screen. You should have a screen in today's world. If you learn nothing else, you should make sure that you know that have one of your screens set up to share for presentations.
Well, this is an area where we don't have immediate feedback. We don't have any immediate feedback. So if I'm sharing something and I X out of what I'm sharing, does it automatically share something else because it's looking for something on the screen? I don't know that because I'm not viewing it. I'm not in the participant's viewpoint seeing what's showing on my screen. So it's a way where I'm doing something where I'm not getting feedback that something that I'm doing is being viewed by other people.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to our next subject here. I think we're going to...
Are we going to be able to do the geese today?
I don't know. Do we have enough time to do our Nathan Nugget? Let's do our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right. Artificial intelligence can now ID individual geese. There's only a minute left. Oh, so a few years ago, an interview became, what's this about Australia? We're going to have to talk about this next week here. So here we go. All right,
the Nathan Nugget of the day is we don't have time.
We don't.
Again.
It talks about how AI is created because this person needed to have this. So let's move to our pick of the day.
Thank you, Nathan. We'll get my story in there one time.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings.
All right.
Let's see what bubbles to the top.
What we're drinking today is the New Riff Malted Rye 6 years. On the palate, you get elegant spices, saltwater, taffy, fruits, cloves, and an interesting toasty, malty note, finishing with clove and pink peppercorn.
All right. I'm giving this absolutely a thumbs up. What are you giving this, Mike?
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
Wow. Okay. What did you think?
It is only because of the rye burn at the very front. Everything else is delicious.
What do you give it?
Oh, it's thumbs up for me.
All right. Remember, the technology of tomorrow starts with today.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/TechTimeRadio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.